All right, friends, it's T-Man. I'm back with a new video. Jason Blaha again. Yes, the strength building, the strength, oh man, the strength and fitness channel, the influencer, the gym lifting, recruiting lifting slave himself, Jason Blaha. Gonna do a reaction video to Jason Blaha's video. Jason Blaha says, "How does weightlifting improve health?" He's gonna tell us how it improves health. Wow, I can't wait to I can't wait to hear this. Jesus, finally, somebody's going to tell us how weightlifting improves health. Okay.
Almost all of the health benefits that we get from lifting weights come from gaining muscle mass.
What health benefits from gaining? What health benefits do you get from lifting weights? Oh, he says from all that muscle mass? Wait, let me see. Let me hear that again, man. This is going to be funny.
Almost all of the health benefits that we get from lifting weights come from gaining muscle mass, and then a smaller portion of them come from the bone density. I thought I would chat with you guys.
The bone density? I don't know what he's talking about, man. The muscle mass and bone density. Yeah. Okay. Nobody's really building muscle out there. That's why everybody's complaining and crying and going on steroids, calling it, I reached, what is it? Newbie gains. How much newbie gains did you get? Very little. Very, very, very tiny newbie gains. It's based on an adaptation process. You could get an adaptation just about doing anything that you're unaccustomed to doing. You get an adaptation. Science tells you that. Now, as far as mass on the myofibrillar, none of you are massing it up because protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. That is not a health benefit. I can explain this, man. Trying to build muscle for no other reason than for a cosmetic look, or maybe for being stronger. You get bigger, you get stronger, you get bigger muscles, real muscles, you do get stronger. Is permanent strength. That's not a health benefit, bro. That's not a health benefit. I don't know what he's talking about. That is not a health benefit. The reason why people are suffering from sarcopenia and every other disease is because they're eating an unnatural diet. There are two things. There are two types of things out there. There's herbivore and carnivore. Humans are carnivore. We eat meat. We eat meat. That's what keeps us healthy. So that's the health benefit. The health benefit is to not eat fake food. To not eat food that is not meant for humans. Okay? Breaking the laws of nature. It's not a diet. And there's no such thing as diets. There's just herbivore and carnivores. We are carnivores. We eat meat. Okay? That's it. It's a behavior. It's a behavior. As far as bone density, you wouldn't lose any bone density if you ate your natural diet. But if you eat carbohydrate, drug-induced diets, eating drugs all day, which is not meant for human consumption, eating drugs, these sugars and carbs, which are drugs, plant drugs. Drugs destroy you. They withdraw minerals. They draw minerals and vitamins out of your bones. That's why your teeth are falling out. That's why they're dissolving and a bunch of stuff. Okay, dude? So that's an indicator. If you're going to the dentist, that just tells it to you, right? That tells you everything you need to know, okay? So you're going to lose bone density because you're eating drugs all day. And he's eating drugs. That's why he's suffering from sarcopenia. One slip and fall for him, and he's gone. His bones will break. But anyways, man, yeah. Let's hear what else he has to say. And none of this makes sense. Building muscle is not a health benefit, and this bone mass, you're not getting that. What is he trying to do? Because he's on the eating drugs all day? He's thinking, well, if I lift weights, that'll put it back. What I'm losing because I'm eating drugs? That makes no sense.
Yeah, a little bit about this today. So this is the topics that, a lot of times people are not aware of. They think that just the lifting weights is about sometimes feeling better or doing other things. And I'm not saying that can't be beneficial, but when we come to the actual health benefits, it's mostly about the accumulation of lean tissue, which that would actually include the bone density too.
No, it doesn't. They tell you, okay, in science, they tell you that the bone density, you get it when you're young. You get bone density when you're young, and then you lose it over time as you get older. I don't know that. Maybe you do, possibly not. Yes, no. I think it has more to do with you eating a drug-induced diet, which withdraws the minerals from the bones and weakens them. Okay.
It's important for us to know these because when there have been studies that have come out, it throws people off. You know, they'll see. I've seen it happen. Like some of the news headlines, people are like, "Oh, I can't believe that. That's not possible." You know, when that large scale study came out showing that lifting weights was slightly better for overall heart health and reducing
Heart health, lifting is not good for heart health. Can cause an enlarged heart, which is unhealthy.
heart disease than cardio.
Look, everything with labor.
This is how I went from making
Cardio was.
Look, man, everything that is related to labor work is unhealthy. It stresses you, accelerates aging, causes your heartbeats to increase, which will shorten your lifespan, and causes hypoxia and oxidative stress to your body, which damages your body over time. It destroys you. The whole goal is to eat as much dense nutrients, to get as many nutrients into your body as much as you can. So you need to eat a lot of meat. You need to eat a lot of meat that's highly dense in nutrients. You need to eat a lot of it, and I mean a lot, to reverse this damage and aging and all bunch of stuff. Okay. The more you eat of it, the more you're going to reverse aging. The better you're going to look. You're going to get rid of wrinkles on your skin. Your skin's going to get tighter. Your muscles are going to blow up. Your bone density will go up. The more you eat, the more you are in a positive nitrogen balance, anabolic, right? When protein synthesis exceeds breakdown in your body, you're anabolic, right? You're gonna grow these bones and muscles and skin are gonna have a chance to grow, and that's going to reverse all these problems. Food does it when you eat meat. But if you don't have money to eat real meat like steak or beef, and eat as much as you can, then you're gonna age. Get it? That's why people are doing starvation diets. They think starvation diets are gonna do something for them. Starving is not gonna help you. I think you have it backwards. And lifting, it just breaks your body down. Remember, you're breaking your body down when you're lifting. And when you're starving yourself in these intermittent fasting diets, what are you doing? Breaking your body down. You're never building anything. You understand me? So if you want to reverse aging and look young and be strong, you need to build your body up. How do you do that? It's really simple. When protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown, you are in a positive nitrogen balance, making you anabolic. If you're anabolic, then your body can repair tissue. It's associated with tissue growth and repair. Man, look, do I have to bring this up all the time? Do I have to prove everything that I say? I even posted it in my community section. I don't even know where it is now. I'm gonna have to scroll there somewhere. I usually put everything in here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we are. What is a positive nitrogen balance for muscle building? And that includes bone. That includes bone, muscle, and skin, okay? This is the optimal state for muscle growth, where the nitrogen intake is greater than nitrogen output. Essentially, it shows the body has sufficiently, and this doesn't include eating carbohydrate drug diets, dude. You can only eat the food that you're meant to eat, meat. All right. Essentially, it shows the body has sufficient recovery from its last workout. Okay, that's one way. Greater than nitrogen balance. The faster is workout recovery, the body's anabolic state. Okay, but I have a better one. It explains it much better here. Okay, what it does. It's associated with growth and repair and a bunch of stuff. Okay. Hold on, I don't know where it is. I'm gonna have to find it because I post so much stuff here. Like I have to go so far down. Not this one. Gee, I don't even know if I can find it anymore. Huh. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. I don't know where it is, man. Yeah, I don't know. Man, I don't know where I posted it, okay? I'm gonna have to look it up. Um, okay. See, if nitrogen balance is positive, the subject is in a net anabolic state, whereas if the nitrogen balance is negative, the subject is in a net catabolic state, as from starvation or inadequate protein intake. So what is starvation? That's what they keep telling you, intermittent fasting. That's just a cute way of saying starvation. Or if you get inadequate protein intake, you are catabolic. You understand me? You're breaking your body down. You're aging. Okay. It's associated with, it's another one about a patient here. Loss reflects, whatever, total protein. Hold on a second. I'm looking for the one where it says, yeah, you increase the protein pool, you're anabolic. You need, yeah, it's for growth, repair, and whatever. It's in my community section. I don't know, man. I can't find the right one I want to show you. But anyways, you get the gist of it, okay? It's associated with repair. It's associated with growth. It's associated with everything. Repair. Do you understand me? When you're in a positive nitrogen balance, you can't repair your body. You can't repair your body if you are starving or you have inadequate protein intake, okay? It repairs your body. It's associated with growth, repair, and a bunch of stuff, okay, dude? Being in a positive nitrogen balance, okay? So I don't know what he's talking about. Lifting doesn't do any of that for you. Lifting doesn't do that. It doesn't do that.
Heart disease than cardio was. And again, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't.
You could be eating this, like he's eating carbs, a drug-induced carbohydrate diet, which is a non-human diet. And he's lifting weights. Can you imagine what he's doing to himself?
Believe that, but it's true. I mean, the data's there. Now, I want to be clear when I make that statement. They noted that people who do both actually get even better results. So
think about, why do you think he's aging so much? Why do you think he just turned 47, but he looks like he's 80? Why do you think he looks like he's 80? Because he's aging. Because he's never in a net positive nitrogen balance. The whole point of bodybuilding, to you people want to lift weights, right? You say, well, I'm going to go there, I'm going to look young, reverse aging and all that. But you already are young lifting in the gym, a lot of you. But now look at the old people lifting in the gym. What happened to them? And some people that are semi-young already look so old lifting in the gym. Want to know why? Because the protein intake was inadequate and they were starving. Many people starve lifting in the gym. I go in intermittent fasting in the gym, starving before I work out. I starve myself before I work out. Sometimes they don't even eat after their workouts, and then they miss the window. That is the opposite of what you're trying to achieve. People ask me, why am I eating so much meat or going to the gym, this and that? I am going to the gym. Why am I eating so much meat? To reverse aging, to be in a positive nitrogen balance, to repair and grow my body. I want to reverse aging. I want to get young. That is the whole purpose. Isn't that the purpose behind it? And going to the gym is breaking my body down. I want to go and build it up. You understand me? There may be a necrosis or whatever I'm getting, because I'm doing muscle damage now. I'm switching up a lot of what I'm doing. So I want to build up myself. I want to be young and youthful and strong. I don't want to be deteriorated and falling apart and suffering from sarcopenia and eating drugs all day called carbohydrates. I don't want that.
So just an FYI, that is by no means saying that cardiovascular training, as it's called, doesn't improve, heart health and reduce strokes and heart attacks and these things, because it absolutely does.
Cardiovascular training improves or it stops any? No, it doesn't. It stresses your heart. It causes damage to it. It causes these minute damages, which later open up to something called a heart attack. That can cause a heart attack as well. And then there's plaque buildup and a bunch of other stuff that they tell you in science. I don't know. I can't tell you that for sure. But I do know that anything stressful to your body is damaging, okay? And how it damages it in different ways. And then you really are not repairing your body. It's not in a repair state because it just isn't.
And it does some of it through separate pathways.
He does more breaking down of his body than he does building. That's why he's aging so much. He's a lifting slave. Look at him every single day lifting in the gym nonstop. When does he ever build himself? When?
In the strength training. See where I'm going here? So there's considerable overlap, even though the lifting weights and strength training slightly edged it out in terms of benefit if you only do one, because it's only a...
Let's get one thing straight. Again, weightlifting does not have any health benefits. It breaks your body down. It puts you in a catabolic state, breaks down proteins. It increases cortisol. It is stressful. It is bad for you. It is bad for your health, okay? Anything labor is bad for your health. There are no benefits here whatsoever. It can even cause a heart attack.
Partial overlap in the benefits. People who do both did even better.
And it can shorten your lifespan too.
So just be aware, what the evidence really says is, just because one is slightly better doesn't mean that both don't have effects. So what the data really says is that, you're even better off if you do both. Okay, that's your winning combination. Combine that with a good, healthy diet, okay? And you're setting yourself up for success there. You're really helping, stack the odds in your...
You're setting yourself up for failure. Here's the thing. He's adapted. He's lifting every day in the gym adapted. Me personally, I told you, unaccustomed exercise is known to get muscle damage. Okay, so being adapted, coming to the gym, there's no muscle damage. To push that MND size, that myonuclear domain, you need to bring back this damage. The damage can only happen once in a week, and it has to happen in unison to all body parts. They have to move together. Protein synthesis is extended. Blood levels are elevated for that entire week until the muscles are repaired and remodeled, and they can mass up at the same time. And you get a donation of these nuclei, and you get new myofibers and stuff like that. And so the rest of the week, you're eating. You're in a positive nitrogen balance. You don't need to come to the gym. You don't need to be a lifting slave. And when you come back the following week, you should be bigger and stronger. At least a minimum of a pound and a half to 2 pounds in real muscle. But I'd say a pound and a half in real muscle per week, if you could manage that. Even if you were to get 1 pound of muscle throughout that entire week, that is amazing, because with every week, you'll gain a pound of muscle. You understand me? Because you're in a positive nitrogen balance and protein synthesis is extended for the entire week. So now you can go and eat and build your body. But people prefer to go and break down their bodies every single day in an adapted state, and they eat carbohydrates, they eat spaghetti, pizza. Man, they just are destroying themselves. They don't understand. Those are not health benefits, bro.
Favor, so be aware of that. And,
it is not a health benefit to look like him, like Gomer Pyle. You understand me? Look at him, Gomer Pyle, 80 years old. Look at this 80-year-old man. This is an 80-year-old man.
The same thing. I had some in-laws at one time. The conversation came up, and I had mentioned that strength training and lifting weights reduces cancer considerably, and they said, "Oh, I don't believe that."
Strength training does not reduce cancer. It doesn't. I like how he said reduces cancer. No, it doesn't. Eating meat will get rid of cancer, because cancer lives on carbohydrate drugs, on drugs, drug-induced carbohydrate diet. You understand me? It lives on that. It was created because of that. It popped out because of that. Your body would never give you a disease. It is meant to keep you alive. You get diseases because you're eating improper foods and you're breaking the laws of nature, eating fake drugs all day.
Well, it does. I mean, this has been known scientific data.
Impossible. If you have cancer and you keep eating carbohydrate drugs all day and you lifting, you're going to die of cancer, okay? Because you're feeding it.
Supporting this is going back well over a decade.
You're feeding its growth. You're feeding its growth, man. Oh, man.
Thinking 15 to 20 years ago, they started figuring it out that, yeah, people who lift weights have lower rates of cancer. And that was found.
People who lift weights have lower rates of cancer. Okay, let me see. So you're eating these drugs and then you're burning them off in the gym, right? I got to go and I got to burn calories. I got to go lift, I got to burn calories. So I got to eat drugs and then burn calories. And I have a lower rate of cancer. But it's a lower rate, but it's not indefinite. I may get cancer because I'm eating drugs still and lifting. Oh, man.
To be true even when multivariate analysis was done, because people will say, well, correlation's not causation, right? So maybe they just live overall healthier
Correlation is not causation? Oh, it is.
lifestyles. Well, yeah, but when multivariate analysis has been done, even when that's accounted for, the overall lifestyle, because believe me, not everyone who lifts weights or trains hard has a healthy lifestyle. That's a bit of a misnomer.
Not everyone that lifts weights and trains hard don't have a healthy lifestyle. Well, I know people that lift weights and train hard and have an unhealthy lifestyle and die young or whatever, get sick, get cancer and a bunch of stuff. Heart disease and get a heart attack and whatever. So what are you talking about? It's all based on what you put in your mouth. It's not based on lifting weights.
Again, you get this particularly in certain.
If you chew bubble gum and then swallow it every time you chew it and swallow bubble gum, is that healthy? You think that's healthy? Or you think your body is just going to crap it out? Nah, it's going to circulate through your system, that rubber. Yeah, that's unhealthy.
Drink circles, believe me, a lot of the lifestyles are not as healthy as you would think. A lot of them don't even eat healthy diets. Okay? I know a lot of serious lifters who eat garbage. So don't make that assumption. Serious lifters with drug abuse problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of lifters that eat garbage, like Blaha. He eats tofu and spaghetti and beans, coffee, and weird stuff. I don't know. He eats a lot of these carbohydrate drugs.
And garbage diets, and not just PEDs.
Yeah, he eats garbage food. Look at the way he looks. You are what you eat, friends.
So, party drugs, alcohol, smoking, those are all prevalent in those circles. But when the multivariate analysis is accounted for, yeah, it reduces cancer rates. Same thing with diabetes, the lifting weights.
Lifting weights does not reduce cancer. What's he talking about?
I think of one of the earliest studies I remember over 20 years ago, showing that people who lift weights at least twice a week would have a 70% lower chance of diabetes, developing type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, they're burning calories, okay? They're eating these carbohydrate drugs, sugar drugs, which induce cancer, and then cancer thrives off of those drugs, those carbohydrate drug diet. And then what? You're gonna go lift weights, right? You're not gonna get cancer because what? Because you're burning it off. It doesn't have a chance to be fed and pop out. Okay. What about diabetes? It also prevents diabetes. Yeah, it's keeping it at bay, but it's always there. You understand me? Maybe keeping it because you're burning it you're burning those drugs as energy. So you have to be a lifting slave. Let me get this straight. So because you want to eat drugs all day called carbohydrates, you need to go lift in the gym, be a lifting slave, so then you don't get cancer, you don't get diabetes. That makes no sense. Why not just stop eating the drugs and start eating what you're supposed to be eating, meat? Oh, I know. You can't do that because they taste so good. You understand me, man?
right? These are big numbers, so the question becomes, well, what's the benefits? Where's this coming from? It's from gaining muscle. Because
No, it's not. It's not from gaining muscle. It's because you're burning it as energy. It's not from muscle. What's he talking about?
the metabolic health, the nutrient partitioning. In other words, the muscle tissue
Metabolic health, nutrient partitioning, you're burning it as energy.
itself is protective against cancer and diabetes because it improves insulin sensitivity. Okay, the
No, it doesn't. He's lying.
more muscle you have, the more sensitive receptors you have for uptake of insulin.
No, the more muscle, the more. If you build muscle, then it's going to require more protein for maintenance. It depends on what kind of muscle you're building. Did you get more mass on the myofibrillar? Did you build up the proteins on the myofibrillar? Well, that's going to require maintenance, right? Because you got to eat so much protein to keep that mass on there. You induced it by eating protein. Man, I don't know what Blaha's talking about. Now, as far as building new myofibrillars, that's through an adaptation process. And it doesn't happen often. Very few people have ever gained enough adaptations to actually have built any new myofibrillars. And even substantially to see it visually, to actually visually see it. So I don't really know what he's talking about. What does muscle have to do with that? It requires maintenance. It requires protein. I mean, the rest is just energy you lifting. You're expelling energy using these drugs as energy.
And glucose. And when that happens, guess what? It does stuff like, well, reducing triglycerides, reducing circulating glucose, reducing circulating insulin. Well, we all know those are cardiovascular risk, yes, but with the big
Reducing insulin, circulating cortisol. Okay.
risk of those is development of type 2 diabetes, right? Or the development of
Okay. So he wants you to continue eating a drug-induced diet, and you won't get diabetes if you keep doing what he's doing in the garage, lifting forever. Okay.
obesity, the development of
But it is actually aging him like crazy. It's deteriorating and aging him.
cancers. High circulating insulin levels, above the normal range or the healthy range, absolutely increase the risk of cancer. Now, that doesn't mean to follow a low carbohydrate diet because strength training itself, lifting weights, has been shown to lower circulating insulin and fasting glucose more than cutting carbs out does. So people on high carb diets who lift weights are still probably better off in regards to those things than people.
What? They're better off. People who are eating a drug-induced carbohydrate, the carbohydrate drug, sugar drug diet, you should eating a high diet like that, they're better off? Okay, yeah, oh yeah. That you shouldn't be eating it at all, actually, to tell you the truth.
People who don't lift weights and do it like a ketogenic diet.
Right.
And that's been found in the data also. So the muscle
Ketogenic diet? There's no such thing as diets. It's man-made stuff. It's just fake stuff to keep you doing weird things.
tissue itself reduces those things. So think about that. For a lot of people who don't work out, they're trying to lower these things with a low.
Well, how complicated can life be? What do humans eat? Meat. That's what keeps us healthy. Okay. What builds muscles? Adaptations do. They build new myofibrillar growth. It's built through adaptations. And it only ever happens once. Okay? You can repeat it. That's very specific though. But it only ever happens once. When you do something that you're unaccustomed to, you get an adaptation. You get a repair and a remodeling of that muscle. And then it never damages again. Okay? So anything you do that you're unaccustomed to doing, you'll get an adaptation in muscle growth. That's about it. Yeah. Yeah. And then later you can become better at doing these activities like lifting and whatever you're doing there. That's a separate adaptation. It's based on chemical adaptations. Okay. And how complicated is that? It's not complicated. Okay. You want to mass up the myofibrillar? Okay, really easy. Be in a positive nitrogen balance. And mass will grow on that myofibrillar. And you can lift weights, yeah. It'll open a window for protein synthesis. You're an adapted lifter. There you go.
Carb diet, lifting weights actually does those things better than a low carb diet does, because your muscle tissue uses all that glucose. It has a high insulin sensitivity, so your
It does. It uses as energy, but you shouldn't be eating that.
body just needs a much smaller insulin response to deal with glucose and to transport it correctly. Okay? And
Yeah, that stuff's gonna destroy your gut and destroy you over time. Especially the more you deteriorate, the more it ages you and deteriorates you, the more it causes damage to your mitochondria. They become dysfunctional, and so do your progenitor cells, your satellite cells. They become dysfunctional as well, because every time he gets them to proliferate, if they come out of quiescence because he's lifting and they have to proliferate, they're being exposed to this environment, and then they don't work properly anymore. They don't repair you anymore. That's why he's aging. He's deteriorating faster than he's aging, because every time they come out of quiescence and they have to deal with like this drug-induced diet in your body, which causes destruction to them, they're exposed to them, they too age. The progenitor cell, they get old. So every time you go to the gym and you eat a drug-induced diet, or oxidative stress and hypoxia and all that, and it is exposed every time it is activated, and only just proliferates because it's activated because of that stuff. And then they go back. The reason why they're in quiescence, here's the thing: science will tell you, the longer you can keep the progenitor cells in quiescence, the younger and the better you will be off in life. Okay. Now, me personally, I don't lift in a gym, and the only time I ever lift is to get muscle damage, and I'm aware that they will come out of quiescence. In that moment, they will come out of quiescence, because I'm moving for an adaptation. That's my training. My training is for adaptations, okay, only. And so I know that I should only eat meat in that session. If I eat anything else, it'll be exposed to it, and they'll be lesser of themselves. They won't be they won't be young anymore. They'll be old and decrepit and corrupted. They'll be destroyed, and I'll be destroyed. Yeah. They're exposed to this environment every time they come out. That's why they're in quiescence, not to be exposed to it.
And also, your muscle cells are using most of it. And people forget that too when they think in terms of glucose and carbohydrate. Your muscle tissue is really the biggest sink for that and user of it. So obviously, if you have more muscle tissue, see where I'm going? You need more of it. And so then
You need more muscle tissue? Okay, how do you get it, Blaha? How do you get it? Because you don't have it.
your overall metabolic health improves. Well, that definitely cuts diabetes.
Your metabolic health improves. You don't want to increase your metabolic rate. You want it low. That's the whole point. I have a very low metabolic rate. When I check my heart rate and stuff, I have a very low metabolic rate. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna live really, 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 really long. People told me, oh, you need to check your blood pressure. Go in that machine. You eat all that meat, that red meat. Yeah, I do. And guess what? Metabolic rate is perfect. If anything, my blood pressure is very low. It's actually very good. My metabolic rate is very low, because I don't do crazy activities like this guy. I'm not a lifting slave. I'm not trying to increase. I'm not trying to age. I'm not trying to accelerate aging.
Diabetes, but it also cuts cancer. Because just circulating insulin and glucose are lower, you have better control of these things. Your body manages them better. So in other words, it tends to feed the muscle tissue and starve the tumors. Because your body will try to
feeds the muscle tissues and starves the tumors. How would he know that? How does he know that?
fight those things, but if they outgrow your ability to fight it, well, that's when you get tumors. All right? Muscle tissue helps. So all these age-related diseases are offset with that. Then we come over to the hip fractures. That's the other thing that gets people.
So when is he gonna grow? When is he gonna grow muscle tissue? Hip fractures is pretty bad. Yeah, you're really falling apart at this point. You're really deteriorating at this point if you're getting, hip fracture and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Bone density is enormous. The bone density is a big deal. And if you guys recall, when I did some DEXA scans a number of years ago, it's been 7 or 8 years now, 6 years, something like that. It's been a while. My bone density was like 4 standard deviation on the bell curve. I am well within the top, like half a percentile of the population in terms of bone density.
I don't believe any of that. But anyways, if there is some bone density there, whatever, he's just trying to maintain it, lifting weights, trying to get it to come back somehow or whatever. Because he's eating a junk diet.
And I was in my late 30s. I think I was 40-ish maybe when I got that done. I had the bone density of a 20-year-old athlete.
I don't believe anything he's saying. He's actually deteriorating your bone. Listen, eating a fake diet will deteriorate your bone, and lifting weights will accelerate it. So he's lying to you. That's not true. That's not true. It can only be improved if you're eating what you're supposed to be eating, meat. It doesn't improve eating a slave diet and lifting weights, okay? It doesn't.
Purely from lifting heavy, okay? And that
He's a pathological liar. He's making this stuff up. He never took a test to check his bone density or anything like that. He's pretending. He's lying to you. He's eating a slave diet and lifting weights, which is causing his bone density to go down. That's why he has no muscle mass. Look at him. He's suffering from sarcopenia. That is osteosarcopenia. That is bone loss, bone density loss, and muscle. That's what's going on here.
He's on into old age, where that bone density helps stop all those fractures, bone fractures, hip fractures, the stuff that really gets us with age. Right? We just break bones less easily.
Yeah. This guy, I know what to call him now. Osteosarcopenia slave.
Because our bones are stronger as a result of the training.
No, yours aren't stronger because of the results of the training. If you're eating junk food, a drug-induced diet, carbohydrate diet,
our body has to make them stronger so that they don't get injured from lifting.
Your body wants to make it stronger, but you're eating something that's preventing it from getting stronger, called carbohydrate drug-induced diet, dude.
Progressively over years and years and years. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to
It's interfering with that.
say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and
Yeah, it was really informative. Not. I'll see you in the next one, man. You tell me what you think about that, friends. Like, subscribe, and comment down below. Helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. Blaha again.